Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to Clantis Dumagut the podcast. Is it Dumagut the podcast? I haven't been here in a long time. I even forgot my own channel name and my podcast. But other than that, guys, what's up? What's up? It's good to see you one more time. Yeah, I know it's been a hot minute since the last time you've seen me. I've been busy, guys. It's been such a busy year, 2024. I've forgotten that 2024 was South Africa's election year. And the company that I work for, it also has a link with the South African elections. So my desk was just full. I couldn't wait until the 29th of May 2024 that it was our election day. We did go through an election and it was quite nice, it was quite peaceful as usual. As I've always said on my videos previously, when I was dealing with South Africa's political stability, which some of you had concerns about. And I was like, no, South Africa has no appetite to be taking arms and going on the streets. And exactly who are we going to be fighting? Because we'll be fighting ourselves. We'll be fighting the very nation that is supposed to be busy building and progressing and being an example to the rest of the world. So we don't have that appetite at all. We have absolutely no appetite for that. I'm sure some of you who follow South African politics after the elections, the governing party, which has been governing South Africa since 1994, the ANC or the African National Congress, they lost these elections. I think they got like 40% of the total election results, and that was breaking news, like breaking news type of situation. However, many of us South Africans, we kind of like had an inkling that was going to end up that way because of the way the country was being governed. There came a point where the probably the ANC itself, most of the time, is the people. It's not the organization; it's the people. The people that were leading the organization, subsequently the country, they stopped caring. They stopped being servants of the people as they always promised to be. Instead, we were seeing a lot of corruption. We were seeing a lot of dilapidating infrastructure. They were taking the money and putting it in their pockets, spending it with their girlfriends, and going out on holidays to Dubai, etc., and so on. So people of South Africa were like, we're waiting for the elections, and we are going to take away that power because some of them kind of like forgot that in a democracy, power is borrowed. So if you are going to misuse it, it's going to get taken away from you. It's not a right, it's just a privilege. And I think some of them were shocked. I mean, we've seen videos going around, maybe more like, how do I put this? Leaked audio or voice notes of the people in this political party that they were literally crying as though they just heard that a loved one passed on. That's how much they are hurt, or they are hurting. And South Africans are saying, yeah, this is exactly what we've been feeling for so long. And we kept asking you guys, please serve us, please serve us, please serve us. But nobody was serving us, and as a result, it ended the way it did. Guys, don't mind me. I am wearing a gown because it is cold. South Africa is officially in winter. Is it officially now, or are we still in spring? Well, basically, as a matter of fact, from April, which was very hot. May was very hot. And then out of the blue in June, it just became cold. Obviously, it has to get cold because this is our winter season. Now we are starting July soon, and that is the neck of our winter. So I'm kind of like keeping warm because I did catch the flu a few weeks ago. And this flu this time around is pretty much a harsh. It is very aggressive because it held me down for a good 3 weeks and I coughed for another 3 weeks or so. It's just crazy. I tried to find out what the strand of this influenza, but nobody seemed to know except that doctors and people in the pharmaceutical space, we're saying, hey guys, take care of yourselves, make sure that you are dressed warm because this flu this time around is quite aggressive. At some point, I even thought I may have cororo, if you know what I mean. Turns out, no, I'm negative of cororo. I was negative of all these stuff that kept us indoors in 2020, if you remember. But I feel better. I feel fine. So what have I been getting up to since the last time we saw each other? I think the last time we saw each other must have been in January or February this year. I am so sorry, guys. I've been so inconsistent. And I do get your emails. I do get your emails. I am so grateful to each and every one of you that send me these emails that you send. And I'm so grateful to everybody that I also met. I'm continuously meeting you guys. That's one thing that I committed to in 2024, despite me being busy, that when I get an email and a African American brother or sister or a family wants to meet with me, I make sure that I meet up with you. We have a great time, get to know each other, form friendships, of course, brotherhood and sisterhood, brother sisterhood, and you know, I've been so grateful and so blessed in that. That's something I will never stop doing. Honestly speaking, I will never stop doing that. And the African American brothers and sisters that I hear in South Africa who recently moved, you guys inviting me to your homes for dinner, for lunches, and going out. Thank you guys so much for that. May you be abundantly blessed. I see how happy you are. I see the relief in your eyes, on your shoulders, and the way you look as if you were just reborn. And I do hear some of you say, my goodness, why haven't I been here for so long? My friend Stace, who's also African American, he sometimes he'll be like thinking real hard. You could tell that he is happy. There's this happiness, this twinkle in his eye. And I'm like, bro, what's up? Why are you quiet? He's like, man, I am so upset at myself. I am 50, I think it's 52 years old. I'm 52 years old. Why haven't I come to South Africa all this time? Why did I listen to all those people talking nonsense about South Africa? Man, I should have been here a long time ago. It's always hilarious to hear him say, because he says this timelessly every time when he's sitting down and just lost in his thoughts. I love that about that. And recently, I hung out in a hangout. Of course, it's the Dr. Assad's meetup, putting rands in black hands and that type of situation. It was great hanging out with him. I think it was 3 weeks ago, and of course, celebrating Stay's birthday. And another thing Stace that is doing, or maybe let me put it this way, another thing that is positive that is happening between African Americans and South Africans is that we are becoming business partners in many ways. We're becoming business partners. We're starting to do business together. We're starting to partner up. In many cases, as I have said in the past, is that South Africans, if you want to partner up with a South African citizen for a business, just know outright that we don't have capital. We don't have money that will say, okay, we will, when we start making profit, it's going to be 50-50. What we have is our citizenship. What we have is the knowledge of business opportunities that we know we will succeed if we enter into it together. And I'm not also insinuating that by virtue of you being an African American or an American for that matter, you come with money or bags of money. I understand that, and many South Africans are beginning to also understand that just because one comes from the US does not mean that they have money. Yes, there are still those that think that America equals having bags and bags of money, and therefore you will hear some who say, "Hey, let's enter business together." But when you say, "Yeah, cool, let's do it," they don't have capital. So those are the things that you may come across if you want to do business with a South African citizen. I myself, Clantis, don't have capital to start a business with you. However, I'm more than happy to guide you to economic opportunities where I feel you would thrive if you put in your $2,000 or $5,000 or $1 million or $5 million or whatever the case might be. And if you want to give an opportunity to a South African, maybe take the South African out of a dire straight situation that they may be, because let's be honest, and I will be honest with you, South African economy hasn't been creating jobs, and if it does create jobs, it's not sustainable jobs type of situation, which leaves a lot of South Africans, especially the young ones, without work and without skill. And as a result of that, many of them are deemed to be unemployable because they only have not university, they have high school certificates and or diplomas as you guys call it, and they've never worked in their lives, and probably by now, but at this time they're around 27, 28, even 30 years old, and never worked in their lives simply because of the economic situation in South Africa, which of course is one of the reasons why the young people that voted around this time, they were like, listen, I am not benefiting anything out of your government, you might as well leave and let me vote somebody who may have a vision for me. So that's the situation that I want you to understand if you want to come to South Africa and you want to partner up with a South African citizen for a business. And I'm not saying that all South Africans are like that, because there are those that come from well off families. They themselves have capital where you can put your capital and their capital together, and at time of dividends it's 50-50 type of situation. uh, the point that I'm trying to make here is that I am seeing a lot of collaborations between South African citizens as well as African Americans. One of which is the music industry. As you guys know, that Amapiano in South Africa is a huge music genre that is taking probably the world by storm by this point. And I'm seeing a lot of African Americans coming into this field. One of those people, of course, again, because he's my friend and he doesn't mind me mentioning him in my videos, Stace. Stace got himself a group of young South Africans. Of course, naturally, these young South Africans would not have had the opportunity to sit in a music studio with all the talent that they have. They would not have had the opportunity to create the type of music that they are busy creating right now. Because Stace came and said, listen, guys, I have this little. I can get this, and that. And you come with your talent. We put this together, and then we are going to form this beautiful sound or sounds that they are currently busy with. Let me just give you a sample, and just a small sample. I'm not quite sure if they already copyrighted this song, because this is my favorite song, by the way, and I think it's going to be a hit, and I want you to hear it as well. And let's hit it. Aprenda chagaru ningala uma ndoza man ai ule buma tos upronom shot aprenda chagaru So yeah, this is the type of stuff that African Americans and South Africans are currently doing. I saw another couple whom I'm still going to be spending time with. I'm just, winding up some few stuff at work before I am seriously free and able to hang out with a lot of African Americans that are living here in South Africa now. Uh, he shared with me, together with his wife, that he has opened a DJ school. I'm like, you open a DJ school and getting clients, by the way. And I'm like, this is great. This is what I want to see. This is what I dream of us together. I know there are people who always say, oh, you always talk about African Americans. Why don't you talk about us too? We exist here in Africa. Listen, in Africa, God's honest truth, South Africans did open our arms wide and then said, come through. Let's work together. Let's collaborate together. Let's make business together. Let's progress and become rich together. But unfortunately, it did not happen that way. And as a result, South Africans turned their backs on our fellow brothers on the continent because of all kinds of ills that some came to South Africa with. And this is a fact. And not all of them, because there's a lot that are legit, as well as there are a lot that came with the ill fated ideas. And as a result, South African citizens became just angry at every one of them because we don't know who's who in the zoo, and just came and took and took and took, and there's never been any collaboration. It's different this time around. We're having African Americans, we're having British, we're having Caribbeans, we are having other African diasporans coming from elsewhere in the world coming through, seeing these business opportunities, and they are saying, no, 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 it will be selfish of me to find a pot of gold and then it's only for me and my family. What about the natives? You are a native too, but we are adopting you as a native. What about them? How can I eat what do you call this these expensive meals in the presence of the people of that country? So you guys courteously and with humanity said, no, let's do this together. States is doing that. A lot of other African Americans are doing that. And more I'm hearing are doing that. I've experienced that are still in the US, Jeffrey, that have paid me for consultations, that also want to be in business partnerships with me, even though I tell them I don't have capital to start a business with you. They're like, come on, bro, I just need you to be there. And I always say, if you want to do business with me, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have capital. However, I do not mind to be the guy that oversees your business while you are in the US. I don't want to be in charge of your monies. I don't want to be in charge of anything that has to do with money. I can be very happy to oversee and making sure that your business is running and operating well, and that the people that you've hired, they are actually doing the work that they are hired for. When it comes to finances, you can pay me a salary. That's it. That's as far as I can offer myself. But if you're really forcing this, that we become business partners, then you are tying my hands, and okay, I suppose. So anyway, other than that, I am starting. I know I have said this before, that Stace and I are starting a company together. Unfortunately, again, I feel sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. You know, I'm sorry, right? I forgot that 2024 was an election year, and that I was going to be absent for half of the year. Probably 70% of the year I would be absent. And there's no way that I was going to jump into a business venture of the nature that we were starting together, because I believe it requires a lot of work, a lot of marketing and advertising, putting systems in place, etc., and so on. Going to meetings with other people that we were going to sell our services to, and things like that. So I knew immediately when I remember that I chew more than I could, a bit more than I could chew. And as a result, I know, my friend, you're a little bit disappointed, but I know you also understand. And also, other brothers and sisters that I've been in talks with, somehow there was also a disconnection due to my me being busy. I was working with another sister who is from LA. I think she is already in South Africa at UCT doing law, masters in law. We were supposed to put something together, a petition of some sort to the South African government regarding visas. for African Americans. And somehow, sis, I'm so sorry if you're watching. I'm so sorry. My goodness, this video I knew it was gonna be a video of apology to a lot of people because I started these things with enthusiasm and excitement, and I thought we were going to do this, but I fell away from these plans because I have a tendency when I am focusing on a project, I put my whole heart and soul into it and make sure that at the end the result makes me happy and satisfied. Then I take on another task. Sis, if you are in South Africa, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you're enjoying Cape Town. I hope you're enjoying the University of Cape Town because I think that's where you were accepted, even though you wanted to be at Wits University. Yeah, Wits University does have its own drama when it comes to international students. But I'm so sorry. I apologize. I humbly apologize that we could not continue doing what we wanted to start. However, though, I think the good news is there were some relaxations that were taking place with some of the visa requirements. I think there are some visas that have fallen away, and then there's some regulations that were loosened as well. I'm not quite sure what are they. I'm still going to look into them, and I will compile a video for the rest of you guys who may be interested in getting a visa, whether it's a retirement visa, student visa, or a visa, business visa, and stuff like that. On I don't know how many visas. I think there are about 13 different visas that South Africa have. I will compile a video on that one and just let you know what the visas are, what they require, and which one I think you should take if you are not at a retirement age, even if you are still young, because you can retire as a young person. It's just that the South African embassy is going to look at you like, aren't you supposed to be in the office right now working? And you're talking about retirement. I will compile that video at some point and we'll talk about other opportunities that I think are popping up right now in South Africa that I feel as an African diaspora you can take up if you want to. I just need to make sure that they are solid and they are legit. I don't want to bring something to your attention only to find out that it's not what I thought it was. Other developing news as well is that the South African passport once again has hit a major snag or an unfortunate how do you put this? So basically, Ireland. A South African citizen can go to Ireland visa free. We used to go to England or the UK visa free up until 2009. We still go visa free to Qatar, I think the United Arab Emirates, Brazil, some Caribbean islands. We don't need visas to enter. I think there are about 111 countries that South Africans enter there visa free. So Ireland is one of them. And Ireland, not so long ago, sent us a communique telling us South Africans that they are now going to stop South Africans entering the island visa free because our passport is compromised. So, as you guys already know, South Africa is the real United Nations, if I may put it that way. We have many African brothers and sisters that live in South Africa. So Ireland reported that there's been a spat of people with South African passports seeking for asylum. Asylum. Now, if you don't know anything about South Africa, is that we have one of the most progressive constitutions in the world. Now, how do you go to a country like Ireland seeking asylum from South Africa with the most progressive constitution in the world? That did not make sense. So it kind of sent a red flag for Ireland and thought, listen, at first we really did think that these people were being persecuted in South Africa until it hit that South Africa, no, man, this is not right. South Africa has the most progressive constitution in the world. We are the pedestal for human rights. We are the pedestal for humanity and all of that stuff. And the last thing that you can do as a South African citizen is to fly out of the country and seeking asylum. For what? Because there's no persecution of gay people. There's no persecution on religion or cultural beliefs or anything that has to do with fundamental human rights. We protect all these rights under our constitution. So Ireland was like, no, there's something is wrong, and then they realized that they've already took in over 500 of asylum seekers into Ireland, and they said the only way this can stop is by stopping South Africans entering Ireland visa free. Again, when the thorough investigations were done, it turned out that the people that were getting South African passports were Zimbabweans, Nigerians, and I think Somalians or something like that. They would leave South Africa and go to Ireland and seek asylum. And this is, of course, another reason why many South Africans are getting upset. Like, look, we brought you into our country and this is how you thank us. So England stopped us. Now, to go to England, we need to enter with a visa since 2009. So I know that the Department of Home Affairs, I think you guys call it Homeland Security or something like that, has tried its level best to create a different type of passport with very high tech features that will be near impossible to forge. Of course, you cannot forge the South African passport right now, but some of these guys that gotten South African passports, they got a hold of them because of corrupt Home Affairs officials, whom right now the Minister of Home Affairs is busy arresting. There was an entire parallel Home Affairs department that was run by a Pakistani, giving Pakistanis in South Africa South African citizens. And he was recently sentenced to 18 years in prison, I think about 3 days ago. So these are the things that we are getting from many of the people that are coming to South Africa with ill ideas instead of progressing themselves and contributing positively into the South African economy. That is something that I would also like to say to my African diasporans that are coming to South Africa. Don't be like that. Don't find yourself being resented by South Africans because we opened our arms too wide, because that's who we are. We would open them way too wide and will embrace you, love you, protect you, and nurture you, and make sure that you get what you came here for. Uh, let's not make it once bitten, twice shy situation, because South Africans are quite forgiving people, and hence we are saying you are welcome. You are warmly welcome to South Africa. But what I am loving about you guys is that you're not selfish. You're coming in and saying, let's partner up. Let's build and change lives. I know my life being changed, yours is also getting changed at the same time. Whether as an employee of an African American company or business, or as a business partner between an African American and a South African, or South African and a British how do you call it? British African or Canadian African, whatever the case might be. It is beautiful to watch because I am witnessing all of these things. As I always say, I'm hoping that the people who say, do your research, understand what I am saying. This podcast channel, it is about my observation, my experiences. It's not academic. So take your academia elsewhere if you are going to come onto my channel. Secondly, this is a disclaimer I should have done earlier. Secondly, my channel is also not about those Black people who say they are not Black people, they are Native Americans. And I ask myself, so if that's how you identify, why are you inserting yourself in our business if you don't identify as an African American? Why are you inserting yourself where you don't belong? Do you see that you are being delusional to begin with when you say, I'm not an African American? I don't identify as an African. So, what are you doing here? Why are you leaving comments? Why are you watching the video? It's got nothing to do with you. Go to your people, right? I hate saying like that, but it is you who do these things and come into my comment section. So then go to your people. Go make those comments to your people. But I bet your social security says African American. So you are basically fighting a battle on a wrong platform. Take it up with your government. Don't come and tell me that you don't identify as an African American or an African, or you don't, what do you call, what's the word they usually use? Yeah, you don't have connections with Africa. Fine, cool. Stay with your delusion. We're not going to force you to identify any way you want. If you think you're a Native American, cool. Cool. Great. Happy for you. All right. But the other disclaimer that I also wanted to put here is that this is all my experiences, guys. My observations. It's got nothing to do with research papers or this, and that. I'm always willing to be educated if you feel like you want to educate me on something. But let's do it with maturity. Let's do it with intellectualism. Let's do it with respect. That is what I push the most. Other than that, you will find yourself hidden from the channel. Let me tell you something when you are hidden from the channel. What YouTube does is I will hide you from the channel, aka block you, but you will still be getting notifications every time I upload a video. You will still be able to watch my videos and you will still be able to comment. But guess what? When you do comment, I and my community will not be able to see your comment. But guess what I would have done? I would have gotten your eyeballs, meaning I got watch time out of you. So talk about being gaslighted by YouTube. So don't find yourself in that situation. I also know that on this channel, whenever I do talk about the African diaspora, there will be Africans, meaning like people that pretend and say silly things. It's very easy to identify you guys. It's so easy to identify you. And most of you guys are the ones that are hidden from the channel. So going forward, please let's treat each other with respect. If you don't agree with something, the best thing to do, as I was taught growing up, is to shut the up. That's how I was taught. If I don't have anything nice to say, just shut up and keep it moving. And YouTube has been around since 2005, and smartphone with touch screen have been around for over 10 years. If you are listening to my channel or my videos and you don't like what I'm saying, scroll up. There's about 500 million other channels on YouTube that you can check out. And if I'm not your cup of tea, you can go to them. I hope we understand each other there. Anyways, guys, I am going to be here now almost consistently. I think I'm going to be here consistently throughout the month of the rest of June, July, August, probably all the way till about October, because there's something I'm going to be busy with as well for that month of October only. And then I'll be back in November, and then we'll continue having fun. If you're coming to South Africa, I know I'm having Brother Wayne Green that is coming in July with a bunch of African Americans, but we'll be meeting in Durban. Believe there's a conference going on there, and he's invited me to come. And of course, I'm going to set up my studio, and I'm going to talk to the brothers and sisters that are coming down. Hopefully, they will allow me to. If they don't, then I'll just let you know that, guys, it bombed. I could not. I know there's also many more that are also coming. I got your emails. I've already put you in my calendar. I cannot wait to meet you guys. and have a great time with you guys while you are in South Africa with your family or spouse or whatever the case might be. Again, to everybody that I've met thus far this year, thank you so much for the dinners that you pay for me. I like paying for myself, guys. That's one thing about I like paying for myself, but I've been blessed with good people who say, nope, we got this one. We got it, we got it, we got it. I understand because you guys get shocked by the price of food here in South Africa. A food you tell me this would have cost about $150. And in South Africa, you only pay, believe it or not, like $9, $10, maybe at most $20 of like full meal with everything, a glass of wine, probably or two, dessert, main course, appetizer, you name them, all for probably $15 to $20, at most $25. So, oh my goodness, what is in my mouth? Um, yeah, it's my it's my gown. So that's why you'll be like, no, we got this one. We it's on us. It's on us. I love that. I love that. But at the same time, just know that if you ever invite me, you don't have to pay for my meals or my Uber or anything. I'll get to you. I will get to you. And I enjoy meeting you guys so much. And this time around, what I love is that I'm starting to meet Black British and Black Canadians and Caribbeans. And I'm meeting a lot of people. A lot of you. Black Australians, I didn't know there were black people in Australia. I know that there are black people who migrate, or is it migrate or immigrate? You see, I'm a South African. I don't know the difference between immigration and migrating because we don't do that. So, yeah, I know there are a lot of black people that go and relocate to Australia, but a Australian who was born and raised in Australia with Australian parents, I have never in my life ever heard of that. But hey, I'm meeting a lot of y'all, and let's keep doing this, guys. Let's build this bridge, and let's solidify it. And I know slowly but surely the African diaspora will come together once again, whether it's going to be in Ghana or it's going to be in Nigeria or it's going to be in Kenya or Tanzania or Botswana or South Africa, it's happening nonetheless. We are bridging this gap. And as Wodamaya has said before, we are changing the narrative. Let's continue changing the narrative together, and let's continue to treat each other with love, nurture, and of course with curiosity, because without curiosity, guys, we will never know about each other. I mean, I know there are some questions that some people, I could tell that you have a question in your mind, but you don't know how to say. Just let it out, and you will get the correct information and so on. So I'm looking forward to everything that is about to happen with our lives together. Us being mentally as one. I know there are some people like that. That's not the thing. I don't listen to negativity. I have no business in listening to negativity, and I will never insert myself in negativity. Let's be delusional. I believe in being delusional in a positive way that is going to build us as a people. And yeah, if you are married outside of the this these people, cool, bring your spouse along. I've sat down with a lot that are married either or brown skin colored people and things like I love that. I love the diversity. South Africa is a diverse country. Anyways, all that stuff is normal in my head. Yeah, bring them, bring them. Let's all have a great time knowing each other. That's what is the most important. So yeah, my email, I'm going to drop it in the description box. I'm going to drop my PayPal as well because sometimes the brother does not have money to meet up. I've turn down some as well because I may not have money to meet up, especially to buy my own food or get an Uber to you. So that's a possibility. That is why I think the PayPal thing also comes in handy and helps. So you'll find in the description as well if you are interested to throw in $1 or $2 in there. I'll be grateful as well. Other than that, guys, I think I've said what I wanted to say in this video, but of course, I will be here again next week and we are going to talk about some serious other stuff that are taking place either in our lives. Please send in your questions. I'll create a video based on those questions. I know I have outstanding questions as well from previous emails. I am compiling them and I will turn them into a podcast video and answer those questions. But the visa one is definitely something that I'm going to put together so that I get to assist you guys because that's the question I get the most about visa coming to South Africa or applying for a visa and stuff like that. But I can tell you right now, if you're an African American, that's far I know, even British, when you enter South Africa as an African American or holding an African American passport, an American passport, you have a 3-month visa upon entry. So you can live in South Africa for 3 months, but on the day it expires, you need to leave. That's stuff like that. I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied. I think it's getting late and I am cold. Let's see each other, guys, in my next podcast video. Just always know this. We love you guys. Don't believe the propaganda that Africans don't like African Americans. It's all lies. It's propaganda coming from somewhere and we are going to fight it together. I do really love y'all. Until we see each other again next time, please don't leave this video without liking. And if you are new here, warmly welcome. And if you come across this video for the first time, consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.